This is Second Down on ESPN Radio. Christian Gokel alongside PJ Zuko, coming in with a smile on our face, even though there's pain in our hearts.
Little
After
bit.
talking all that smack.
A little bit of each.
Talking all that smack. The Braves just got Max Scherzer last night.
Absolutely.
I think that's going to be.
Talk a lot of smack.
I don't know. I've been posting like the Ed Orgeron we coming.
Okay. All right. I got you.
And like it's still the case. There's still like a little less than half the season to go. You haven't even gone to the All-Star break yet. And there's still a chance you can win this series, but you know.
Yeah, that is the funny part.
I will say this. The Mets gave us the gift last night. Not gift. The gift that was a gift.
Yeah.
Because there is now a gif of a Mets player like walking out to shake hands with his team after the Mets won last night, and he's looking at the Braves and basically telling them to zip it.
Oh, God. That's great.
So now we have the rallying cry.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like now is the perfect time for the Braves to rebound and smoke the Mets the next two games. I don't know. That's like perfectly Mets. Like all of this is just kind of playing out perfectly because like the Mets win game one. All the Braves are like, oh my gosh, it's over. It's like, dude, you still have two games. You can still come out of this thing with.
It's true.
I guess.
You
can come out with
best case is you come
half
out
game back.
Half game back.
Yeah. So you can come out
Best
half
case.
game back. Like, and it's not the end of the world. We're good. You can still win the series. All right, let's go. And not only that, but like you got past Scherzer. No, you didn't get past Scherzer.
But you got out of the way.
But like, yeah, he's done now.
You got your butt whooping out of the way.
He can't face you again. Like two game Scherzer in a 3-game series does not exist.
And you get tonight
he can't
the
hurt you.
rookie with the stash. And you know what? I'm just gonna say this on the show. And if I get kicked off the show, I get kicked off the show. I hope.
I mean, I'm not going to do it. I can't do that.
You don't have the power to, but
Yeah,
I hope Kevin. I hope Kevin's listening to this. We're going to give our higher ups to listen to this. I'm going to say it. Spencer Strider. Everyone wants to talk about his mustache.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's not his defining feature.
Okay. All right. What's next,
Kevin? If I'm not saying that Spencer Strider's mustache is his defining feature, what do you think I'm talking? Yes, sir. My man has, as Ben Drew would put it, a battle wagon. He's got a whole caboose. My man's got some glutes.
Goodness gracious.
He doesn't skip leg day.
Right.
He does all of his squats. He's doing Romanian deadlifts.
Okay.
He's doing those split squats.
Interesting.
With heavy weight.
A
lot of band work back there.
I'll try and see what
PJ,
that's
what I'm
like
trying to
tonight,
say is my man has some cheeks.
On the side of the mustache?
No. No.
Gotcha.
He's got them yams.
I think I get it now.
Them ham hocks.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Could back squat a Brinks truck.
I thought you were going to say his number. It's number 60.
Listen,
number 65.
I don't
it's
know.
Weird, right?
I don't know that I've seen him throw a pitch this year.
Okay.
I don't know that I've seen him throw a pitch this year.
Okay.
I was getting enthralled.
Well, I mean, then how could you say that he could sit down Babe Ruth if you haven't watched a pitch?
Because Babe Ruth's never seen yams like that.
All right, I'll take your word for it. Well, I don't know. I'll take your word for it.
You don't have to take my word for it. There's plenty of video evidence.
I'll watch tonight. I'll see what
everyone
happens.
wants to talk about the mustache. I want to talk about Quadzilla.
Oh, now it's just the quads.
Well, it's everything.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, you can't just back squat a Brinks truck if you just have the glutes.
Yeah, you can't say all that and then change the focus
and none of his implants.
Like,
none of his implants.
No, of course not.
El Natural.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, it's Atlanta. What is this, LA?
Yeah.
Everything's natural in Atlanta.
El Natural.
Yeah. Come on now.
Well, I guess
even the sadness and depression.
Cobb County.
What?
That being said, Kevin and Ben will have a full breakdown of the game from last night. Also,
can I just side comment here? Like we don't have to say because I mean like people on our streaming services are seeing it, but I love Cody.
I mean that's a given.
Yeah, Cody's hilarious. Like that's great.
Yeah, Cody's the best.
Just the commentary.
I think that's known.
It's insane.
But yeah,
I just needed to get. I mean, I just wanted to.
Yeah, Cody, former producer on the show, commenting in.
Forgot Cody.
Hoochie Daddy season. How do you feel about that, PJ? Because you're not embracing Hoochie Daddy season right now.
I don't even know what that means.
So let's talk about this. It's referring to.
I didn't know it was an actual thing. I thought he was just saying that.
No, Hoochie Daddy
because of what we were talking
is a
about.
thing. It basically refers to the inseam length of your shorts.
Okay. Well, I mean, my shorts are kind of short.
PJ, your shorts are touching your knees. They're not
No,
short.
they're not. They're like right above the knee.
Yeah, that's some 1990s basketball stuff.
Yeah, this is the highest I can go. Like, to me, this
That's fine.
Yeah.
You're not embracing Hoochie Daddy season.
I can admit
We're talking 5 to 7 inch inseams.
I am true to myself, right? I'm never gonna lie about who I am, and I can admit that I am no hoochie daddy.
Let's just talk about
So
what's
it is
happening in the
not my
studio.
season.
Let's just talk about what's happening in the studio right now. You can see 0% of PJ Zuko's thighs right now.
It depends on if I'm sitting or not, but yes.
But you can see 0%.
While I'm standing, yes,
you can
you are
roughly
very
see
right.
80% of mine.
Yeah, that's. Why do you think
PJ early 2000s basketball, me 1980s basketball.
Why do you think I focus on the monitor in front of me so much and not the one to my right? I got to be able to focus on the show.
But that's Hoochie Daddy season.
And not the show that's to the right of me.
We're talking Cody's saying 4-inch inseams. That's getting dangerous at that point.
Come on now.
But yeah, embrace it. PJ, skies out, thighs out.
Once I get some non-flabby thighs, I'll think about that.
All muscle back there.
I appreciate that.
Moving off of glute talk.
If you think now,
okay, I just want to say I try to move off of glute talk, and you're bringing it back.
No, I mean I'm not even going fully into glute, but I said this before I went on vacation. I'll still say it. Even going on a week of vacation, I'm still white as hell. So if you want to see how white my thighs are, I don't think anybody does.
Has the sun ever seen it?
I don't think anyone wants to see that. Maybe by mistake. I don't know, man.
How white are we talking? Printer paper?
You know how most malls have white tile floors?
That's a very obscure and random reference, but sure.
Yeah, sure. It's about as white as that.
That's
I mean, dude, the bright.
Are they luminescent? So
if the power
you
went
get down
off,
to your underwear, yeah, it's just you could see your way through your home in the dark.
Right. If the power went off here,
based off your thigh,
which knock on wood, it doesn't, because then we'd go off air. But if the power goes out here, I could definitely just pull up my shorts a little bit to see my thighs, and we could fix the problems in the back.
Listen, I'm just saying, PJ,
because we could all
the 90s to early 2000s basketball shorts are they've gone out of style. Like LeBron goes down to about mid thigh now.
That's fine. I focus on comfort when I dress. This is
comfortable.
These are I bought these shorts a month ago. They're some of the most comfortable shorts I've ever had.
Also, I don't know why Cody's on here saying Hoochie Daddy season, because I've never seen Cody wear anything shorter than touching his knees.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he wears basketball shorts, and when I say basketball shorts, I mean the dad and one shorts.
Maybe to him those are
no.
the right ones.
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Cody, I'm going to need to see some picture proof that you've ever worn anything less than an 11-inch inseam. But moving on, we do have some sports news to get to.
Territory.
ESPN. Sure. Oh, he says I do now.
Oh, he's a Florida man now. My shorts just got shorter when I moved down here.
The weather's any different than where we are. Anyway.
Yeah, this has just turned into a conversation.
Can I talk sports?
Between you, me, and Cody about shorts.
Can we change the S for a P and talk some sports instead of shorts?
You can, man. Listen, I said one thing about how white I was, and then from that point on, you've been the one delaying you talking about sports.
Anywho.
So I don't want to be blamed for this.
Tiger Woods finally clapped back. We'll get to that here in a little bit. I love these stories where people talk to NFL insiders or coaches, anonymous front office execs.
Yeah.
And they get their opinions. So that's how ESPN formulated their top 10 quarterbacks in the league, a notable exemption from that list. So we'll dive into that here in a little bit. But we got
Marcus Mariota's not on there?
I know, PJ, it's going to break your heart, but spoiler alert, Marcus Mariota not in the top 10.
Jesus.
The SEC released today which student athletes will be attending SEC Media Days.
Oh, okay.
Coming up.
That's always interesting.
Immediately want to say Hoover every single time. Coming up in Hoover.
Of course.
That's where it always is.
Yeah.
But coming up in Atlanta.
Weird.
Next Monday through Thursday at the College Football Hall of Fame. Second time it's been at the College Football Hall of Fame. 2018. They did it there. I think it was supposed to be there either in 2020 or 2021, but because you didn't have it in 2020 and then 2021, they just put it back in Birmingham. That being said, I'll be in Atlanta next week. We'll be doing the show from Radio Row inside the College Football Hall of Fame. I think we talked about this already because I'm infiltrating. And I'm going to try to get somebody to answer for their sins.
Yeah, get in there and change some things. Try to.
I'm going to try to. Or
make them think about it.
Get some answers.
As you should.
But now we know which players we're going to be talking about. Let's just start with Georgia. Two 912 guys, and two of the bigger pieces of this Georgia puzzle coming back in 2022. Stetson Bennett, starting quarterback, kind of a no-brainer that he's going to be there. Last year, notably, JT Daniels. This time it will be Stetson Bennett representing Georgia. Nolan Smith representing Georgia as well, the guy who had the final sack of Georgia's season last year, final play as Georgia cinched up the national championship. And then I love this one just for the big guys up front. Cedric Van Pran, Georgia starting center.
There we go. Yeah.
Will be representing the Dogs in Atlanta.
Yeah. And obviously that offensive line, no pun intended, huge part of that success by Georgia, not only, all season, but especially in those final drives against Alabama, which is huge. But no, this is good though. I'm happy Stetson Bennett is going to media day for sure. Maybe the rest of the media can remember that he's a starting quarterback of the Georgia Bulldogs, and they won a national championship there in big part because of him last year. Because I feel like some of them have kind of forgotten that. So anyway,
it's been weird. It's certainly weird. Usually when you win a national championship and your quarterback comes back, you're excited about it. But yeah, folks are weird. But what I found interesting about this release is you can tell which teams are comfortable with their quarterback situation and which teams are not.
Right.
Because if you're comfortable with your quarterback situation,
he's there.
He's coming.
Yeah.
And so, because, media likes to talk to quarterbacks. So you could kind of tell what's left uncertain. LSU, Jack Beck, wide receiver. Interesting that wasn't Keyshawn Butte. Wonder what the story is there. Mike Jones Jr., linebacker, who transferred from Clemson prior to last year, will be there. And then BJ Ojulari, who is going to be a top 10, top 15 pick, brother of Azeez Ojulari. Sorry, I'm choking on my coffee over here.
No, you're fine. I honestly, I would have taken that from it, but I forgot the guy's first name. So I was like,
brother of Azeez Ojulari, currently with the Giants, former Georgia Bulldog there.
I want to help him right here, but I can't.
What? PJ Ojulari?
BJ?
But Kevin, we're combining PJ and BJ.
What does that make?
It's you and BJ Ojulari combined to make a short kind of lackluster pass rusher. Wow. BJ Ojulari.
Can we take his strength and my height? Because that would look hilarious.
No. Moving on. Missouri, another team that's not bringing a quarterback. Barrett Bannister, the wide receiver, is going to be there. Martez Manuel, a DB, and then Isaiah McGuire, defensive lineman representing Missouri. Ole Miss, another team that's not bringing a quarterback, which is fascinating because we all thought, hey, Jackson Dart.
He's the guy. He's got an X in his name.
Apparently, he might be second or third on that depth chart heading into the season for Ole Miss. So the transfer portal, grass isn't always greener, baby.
No.
To be fair, he wasn't beating out Caleb Williams, but so that's who's going to be there on Monday. Tuesday, Alabama coming to town. Interesting little factoid here. Most people should know it, but Georgia's going to be big dogs, right? Coming in there, national champions. Alabama's SEC champs.
Mm-hmm. And they'll remind you of that.
And this is SEC media days.
Yeah.
So Alabama coming in, obviously not a quarterback situation there. They're bringing Bryce Young, Jordan Battle, and Will Anderson. We have an interesting note on Will Anderson that we'll get to here in a little bit. Mississippi State, same day, no quarterback. Apparently that Mississippi State job's up in the air as well.
Yeah,
Jaden Crumdy, Nathaniel Watson, and Austin Williams all going to be there for Mississippi State. South Carolina.
It's because Rogers is still there, right?
Huh?
In Mississippi State?
He's still there, but that one's since spring.
I mean, that door open.
Since spring, Will Rogers has been battling for that job. They had a transfer come in. They have some guys that they've recruited. So that job is up in the air. South Carolina, you feel like it's there. I feel like Spencer Rattler's the guy.
Of course.
He will not be in Atlanta.
Good.
I wonder how much of that is, listen, bro, you just got here. We got some guys who have played in SEC games before.
Yeah.
We're going to take them. They're going to bring Javon Gwynn, who is an offensive lineman, to Carryon Joyner, who is an excellent wide receiver, and Zach Pickens, really good defensive lineman for them. And then Vanderbilt, they're going to be coming with big old smiles on their faces like, hey,
as they should.
Sticking at 16, and we're one of the 16, baby.
And, we're happy to be here, man.
One of the building blocks.
It's true.
Vanderbilt.
One of the reasons everyone else wanted to come here, Vanderbilt.
That's right. They're bringing Ben Brescianon, tight end, Anthony Orji, linebacker, and Mike Wright, quarterback, which that one's still up in the air. If I had to assume, Mike Wright probably gets the start week 1 in Hawaii, which is or week 0 in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Don't even come back. If I'm Vanderbilt, just go out to Hawaii and stay.
Yeah, why not? You're telling Hawaii, you just want to keep playing every week.
Now, Wednesday is outstanding. 4 really good quarterbacks in Atlanta. Georgia, obviously, Stetson Bennett going to be the guy. Nolan Smith and Cedric Van Pran, we mentioned that. Florida, they're bringing Anthony Richardson.
Right.
And then Richard Garage, who was an offensive lineman, and then Ventrell Miller, who was a big get. I know it sounds weird, right? Because he was already on your team, but convincing him to stay during a coaching transition, that was a big get. So Ventrell Miller going to be there for Florida. Arkansas bringing KJ Jefferson, their quarterback, who top 5 quarterback in the SEC, really good quarterback, and fits that team well. And then 2 of the better defenders in the SEC, Jalen Catalon, the safety, and then Bumper Pool.
Classic.
Just an outstanding name.
Yeah.
Will Levis for Kentucky, Kenneth Horsey, offensive guard, and then DeAndre Square, inside linebacker, who's going to be a high draft pick as well. Will Levis, your favorite quarterback in college football?
No, definitely not. But
he went from the blue and white to the blue and white.
Yeah, sure. And you're still happy to see him doing well. You remember last year, around this time, it was the whole like eating bananas with the peel still on kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. He went a couple different things with that. I'm wondering if he brings one of those objects to SEC Media Days and tries to do it on camera. I don't know. We'll see.
PJ hates social media. Thursdays at SEC Media Days are always interesting because, to pull the curtain back a little bit, the way it works is when you request credentials, you can request as like all 4 days, which will be there all 4 days, or you can just request if you have a certain team that you cover for that day, come in one day, cover your team's event, and then get out of there, right? Get all your content. You can see some very weary reporters.
Yeah.
By day 4. And so day 4 is Auburn, Tennessee, and Texas A&M, which I think 3 teams that have very different but equally interesting seasons coming up.
Perfect way to put that.
Right. Yeah. Auburn, no idea what to expect. Could be 3 wins, could be 6 wins, could be 8 wins. Probably leaning closer to 3. They are going to bring Tank Bigsby, Derek Hall, who is an edge, and then John Samuel Shanker. Just a name that if I ask you 3 years from now, when did John Samuel Shanker play football for Auburn? You're gonna be like, yeah, 2003. I remember him, Jefferson Pilot.
Yeah, right.
Auburn. Now, like, no, he's still there.
Yeah.
Bringing him. Tennessee's bringing Trayvon Flowers, the safety, Hendon Hooker, quarterback, and Cedric Tillman, big time wide receiver, coming there for Tennessee. And then Texas A&M, another team not bringing a quarterback. Damani Richardson, a defensive back, Layden Robinson, a big old offensive lineman for them, and then Aniyah Smith, who might be the biggest playmaker in the SEC, coming back there for Texas A&M. Wanted to say this about Auburn last year at SEC Media Days, and granted, I just want to be fair. Granted, so the way it works is head coaches get like roughly 20 minutes, right? Or you get 20 minutes with the head coach, I guess is the best way to put it, in the big media room.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian Harsin comes in and literally spoke for 18 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember a couple of those.
Nonstop.
Yeah. Right.
18 minutes. We got like one question. And then either, all right, Coach Harsin has to get out of here.
And then he just filibustered that. Yeah.
Coach Harsin has to get out of here. I was like, that was equally like amazing and mind numbing.
Yeah.
At the same time. Complete opposite of Mike Leach, who just walks in there and goes, all right, what questions you got?
Yeah. No,
and just kind of answers questions for 20 minutes.
Wasn't Kirby's kind of long last year too?
Yeah, Kirby. What Kirby's is, I want to call it propaganda because that feels a little strong. But it's like he's
close, man.
But it's like he's reading. God, just the word is eluding me right now. But it's just a big billboard for Georgia.
Yeah, yeah. It's like he's trying to recruit the media. Honestly.
Yeah.
He's like he's still in
Here's all the stuff
mode.
Y'all haven't talked about that we did.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. He's like, this is why you should pick the dogs. And the media is like, guys.
No,
like,
it's not even that. He just kind of talks about all the initiatives and all the things that they did and how many people they graduated and how important that is to them. And we're like, Coach, there's a guy over here who wants to ask you what your favorite burger is. Man. And I'm trying to figure out what that inside linebacker rotation looks like.
Yeah, sounds like a recruiting pitch to me. That's all I'm saying. But No, it makes sense.
Control the narrative.
that-
If you
yeah.
can't ask questions, then you can completely control the narrative.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
Brian Harsin was thinking there. So there you go. You can see the full list on ESPNCoastal.com right there on the front page. We got to put out there day by day, team by team, who the attendees are going to be. But the mailman and attendance
Yeah, no, I think that's
in
very
Atlanta.
with just sorry, but
Go ahead.
Going back to this team in the offseason that they had, especially him, Brian Harsin, then over under 15 minutes on his opening
Over.
statements. I feel like it has to be. I feel
Over.
like he has to go the full 20.
My man's got something to say, and he's
or
going to say it.
He's going to get some very uncomfortable
Or
questions.
he could just come in there, kind of wake up, wrong side of the bed, coffee wasn't great, or didn't get a drink, all of it, and he comes in just kind of ornery.
Is that kind of how his whole offseason
There's going to be
been?
a whole lot of people in there.
That sounds like his whole offseason.
But there's going to be a whole lot of people in that room. Like, dude's untouchable right now. Like, if he didn't get fired this offseason, my man's not getting fired. But there's a whole lot of people that are going to be sitting in that room that buried him.
Yeah.
Buried him. I wonder if he just walks up there, sunglasses on, and goes, "Sup?"
Well, what
Or just like, can we play some music? Like, guess who's back?
Yeah, right. What y'all got for
Or
me?
no, even better, like 50 Cent Mini Men, Wish Death on Me.
Yeah, right.
And he just
No,
like walks up
that's
there.
solid.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it'd be solid. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk top 10 quarterbacks per ESPN in the NFL next, right here on Second Down. Second Down on ESPN Radio is presented to you by the Uniform Source. Christian Gokel alongside PJ Zuko. Glad to have y'all with us here on this Tuesday afternoon. No show tomorrow. We will have day baseball, 12:20 first pitch between the Mets and the Braves. Hopefully.
Oh, no. Get that out of here. Say it.
For the series win.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. We'll have the Braves sealing that series win tomorrow.
We have Spencer Hamhock Strider on the mound tonight.
Goodness gracious. Now that you've brought this into the public, I am very much looking forward to all the different nicknames and things you call Spencer Strider around the
watching Spencer Strider.
Because not really. I know you have just like nicknames just in the holster back there. So like
galore.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to that because I hadn't heard of this honestly until you said it on the show. So I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Speaking of more, the articles in which you talk to anonymous like coaches and front offices about stuff, some of my favorite in existence, right? So ESPN and Jeremy Fowler do this every year prior to the NFL season kicking off. They talk to different execs, different players, different coaches, different scouts, and they try to determine who the top 10 are at each position, usually starting with the quarterback. So I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that number one is Aaron Rodgers. My question to you about this is, he's had two of his best statistical seasons ever the past couple of years, maybe his best one ever a couple.
Mm-hmm.
My question is this. The definition, I think, of a quarterback, because it's the most important position in any sport anywhere in the world, right? There's no singular position that means more to a team's success in any sport than the quarterback does in football, right? Aaron Rodgers has won the same amount of Super Bowls as Matthew Stafford.
True.
Aaron Rodgers, I think he's known for being maybe the most talented quarterback we've ever seen. Even though I know Cody would argue Drew Brees. But when it comes to where quarterbacks make a name for themselves, the playoffs, it's almost always ended in disappointment. Now, to be fair, only one quarterback can win the Super Bowl every year. I understand that.
Right.
But I think more than like his triumphs in the playoffs, we think about his defeats and coming up short. And there's always excuses for him afterwards, like, well, they just don't give me weapons. And he's always having to carry the football team. I understand that, but he's been in the league for a long time now.
Yeah.
And he has one Super Bowl.
He's gotten more than a few chances. I'm not some Aaron Rodgers apologist by any means, but at the same time, I will say if you look at most of those disappointments and not trying to give him a pass, but like most of said disappointments aren't necessarily on him. Like he's putting up crazy numbers and playing well in those games, but for whatever reason, they end up falling short. Now, some would argue that doesn't matter. Okay, you put up 350 yards, put up 450. So like I get that as well. But I will agree with you. It has ended in disappointment certainly more times than not, and there have been games, a lot like last year, where it's like, man, just do something. It's San Francisco, and they just laid an egg completely, even the offense.
Yep.
So I'm really not giving them a pass for those years either. So
it's interesting.
I'm with you.
The conversation we just had is the same conversation you hear from the article where it says a veteran NFC scout said he should have more championships, but their defense and special teams have let him down. I've seen Tom Brady carry teams.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I've seen Patrick Mahomes carry teams. Right? Aaron Rodgers, he has the one Super Bowl, but for the most part, he's the guy that the other quarterback slays on their way to a Super Bowl.
Right.
Now, again, Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing linebacker when Raheem Mostert ran for like 230 yards in the NFC Championship.
He wasn't.
Right? But you have to, as a quarterback and as a leader of a team, I think it's on you to overcome those things, right?
Yeah.
So
also, like, I think one of the arguments is that the people around him on offense, which, yes, some years have been really, really bad, but other years where they didn't win were really good.
Listen, man,
So-
Tom Brady was thrown to a lacrosse player when he won a Super Bowl.
That's everyone also wants to point out, like, oh, they have a wide receiver at running back. Yeah, who put up like 120 yards. So what's your argument there? It doesn't matter.
Well, another NFC coach says that he believes he plays it too safe when his team needs the opposite. He said, quote, late in the down with pressure, he won't always take risks. On certain plays where he's throwing the easy completion on a smoke route and it's a critical moment, you're thinking, is he really trying to win?
Yeah. Who's the anti-Brett Favre?
Yeah, it's hit the check down, don't turn the football over.
Right.
Versus like 3rd and 15, if I rip this thing between the two safeties and trust my arm a little bit, like, right? So it's Aaron Rodgers obviously made some crazy throws. Like, go back to the Dallas game where he kind of booted to the left and threw that pass down the field, like right up as he's getting tackled. One of the craziest arm talent plays you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
But I kind of agree with this, where it's like, I don't want to say I've ever thought, like, is he really trying to win? But it's just sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit. And that might be my only kind of critique for him.
Sometimes it's more, I'm not going to be the reason we lose.
It's one of the things I love about Joe, which I'm so happy with part of this list, because I feel like I was the Joe Burrow guy last year, and I kind of got laughed out of the room when I said Joe Burrow is probably a top 5 quarterback. And
I mean,
here we are. But
I
he's the
agreed with you.
It's the opposite, but it's the opposite now in the fact that, or with Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers trying not to turn the football over. Joe Burrow, he's like, that's my dude down there. I'm just going to throw it up to him and like let him make a play. So it's just different ways of playing quarterback, not taking anything away from Aaron Rodgers, 4-time MVP. But if there is a critique about him being number 1, that would be it. Patrick Mahomes comes in at number 2. I think there's an argument that might be Josh Allen's spot.
Ooh.
But more so than that, my argument would be, where's TB12?
Okay. Yeah.
Like, honest to God, I give you, like, the NFL has to like blow up and you get your selections of quarterback and you're just going position by position and you get the second pick for quarterbacks. And we're not worried about next year or like the year after. We're just worried about winning this year. Who are you taking? Even if you have the first pick, who are you taking?
I'm probably taking Patrick Mahomes
over Thomas Brady.
This is probably, honestly, this is probably the I'm probably the worst person to ask this question. Because like
Michigan.
Not even. You said that about Josh Allen, and I like did a double take because like I think Patrick Mahomes is just insane. Like, I think honestly, talent wise and like arm talent wise, all that good stuff, I think Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback we've seen in the NFL. I think Patrick Mahomes can take that to another level and has already started to. So like, I love some Patrick Mahomes, right? And even if we're talking about 1 year, 1 down, whatever, I'm probably taking him. Now, I would argue that I think Tom Brady should probably be higher on this list.
Yeah. And
you should definitely have respect for, everything that he's done and still can do for sure. But just with like where they're at right now, I'd probably still take Patrick Mahomes.
Where they're at right now is Tom Brady threw for 5,316 yards last year, 43 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
He's amazing. Truly is.
And when we talk about in the clutch moments, he walked off the field with the lead.
So did Patrick Mahomes.
Against the Rams.
Yeah. So did Patrick Mahomes.
Against the Rams?
Like 2 or 3 times against the Buffalo Bills, Patrick Mahomes did the same thing. So.
Did they end up winning that game? The Chiefs won that game, right?
Did they win?
Yeah.
They won that game.
The Chiefs won that game.
Hey.
So, yeah, he did walk off the field with the lead when there was
when
like
they
triple
ended up
zeros.
Winning the game.
I remember when they won the game. No, that was an outstanding game. But that was one of the points I was going to make about Josh Allen is that goes different in the last, like, because it was the Chiefs like went down the field for a field goal in 16 seconds.
Yeah, and then they actually like this is what makes my point worse. He threw an interception in overtime against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Oh man. This has been a terrible.
Yeah, no. So like the second half in that game, the Bengals completely shut them down.
Yeah, this has been a terrible 45 seconds for me.
Worst 45 seconds of your life. But no,
not
to
quite.
me, honest to God, you give me one pick, I was like, hey, you have to win it this year. I'm taking Tom Brady, and I don't know that there's another choice. And I don't think this should be when you're doing top 10 quarterbacks for this year. I don't think it should be a futures projection. I think it should be who are the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. To me, Tom Brady is number 1, but that's just me. They have Josh Allen number 3, excellent quarterback. Tom Brady's number 4. Then my man Joey B,
as he should be.
Joe Burrow comes in at number 5,
right where
AFC champion last year, and the dude's a gunslinger. Like it is what it is, right? He transfers to LSU. It takes them like 3 or 4 games to really get going, but once they do, they rip off a bunch of wins in a row. They get shut out by Alabama his junior year. That one was in. Yeah, shutout in Death Valley, I believe. Yeah. And then go to the
like
Was it the
21 to
Fiesta
nothing.
Bowl against UCF?
Yep.
He gets the cheap shot from the UCF player
Mhm.
and then completely turns it on. They go on to beat UCF, who was undefeated. And a lot of people talk about, oh, back-to-back undefeated years, back-to-back championships for UCF, right? Beats them, comes back the next year. They don't lose a game, have one of the best offenses in college football history, if not the best offense, and comes to the NFL, tears his ACL because he's playing behind a ramshackled offensive line, comes back from the ACL tear, goes to the damn Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Burrow is a gamer.
Ridiculous.
Number 6, Matt Stafford, Super Bowl champ. Love that he's getting the respect that he deserves.
Finally.
Justin Herbert comes in at number 7, outstanding quarterback. Just if you let a coach make a quarterback in a like Madden, this is what they're creating.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert comes in at number 7. Russell Wilson. This one's weird to me because he has not been very good.
Don't let Ben hear you say that, man.
Russell Wilson hasn't been good.
He wasn't very good last year.
I understand he's on like a 2003 kind of playbook with the Seahawks, and now he's in Denver, and it's free Russ, right? Like maybe he can get back after it with a really good receiving core, but I'm not as high on Russell Wilson right now. Desean Watson, again, don't know if he's playing. Take everything away off the field, he's an outstanding quarterback, certainly a top 10 quarterback. Don't know if he's going to be playing this year. And then number 10 is Dak Prescott. I got beef because they left a damn MVP off of this.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's fine. I understand he plays for the Dallas Cowboys, right? Russell Wilson's fine. Super Bowl champion. Hasn't been very good the past few years, right? Justin Herbert, good. Hasn't won an MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell's Lamar Jackson? This is a
crazy.
Bill Polian-ass list. I can already, I can hear the haters in their car. Oh, maybe he'll make the running back list.
Yeah, right. Yeah, whatever.
The hell out of here.
I guess you don't watch football. Like, that's fine. No, that is it's laughable.
He threw for
and
442 yards against one of the best defenses in the league in the Colts and Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
but he can't throw.
No, it's laughable again. Like, and even he gets 1 year. He gets 1 year of maybe playing. I mean, a little bit off. He was mainly injured last year, and we just completely forget about him. Or these guys do. That's insane.
So that's our take on the top 10. We got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll get back into it, and then we might have some realignment news to dive into here as well. This is Second Down on ESPN Radio. We'll be right back after this. We have some realignment news to get into here.
Hey,
And no, it is not of the college football variety.
oh, what? Hold on.
PJ Zuko
I'm not ready for this.
informing me that we have NASCAR realignment news to dive into. Of course, our host of Green, White, and Checkered, you can hear it every Sunday morning here on ESPN Radio.
Hey,
But PJ, we have some realignment. It's spreading to NASCAR.
yeah,
Or did
no,
NASCAR
it is.
invent realignment?
What?
Did NASCAR invent realignment?
It kind of did. It kind of did, but not really. I don't know. It's really interesting. But I will say NASCAR starting to take some notes from college football, though, because it's a whole lot of this move's going to happen in 3 years. Like, wait, what? Hold on.
We have earth-shattering news that's not going to affect you for over 1,000 days.
Yeah, no, a lot of what happens in NASCAR is just like it's the end of the season. Hey, this guy's driving for this team next year. This is the sponsor, and it's like, oh, holy crap! Like it's a quick twitch, right? Well, sometimes you have situations like this where if I'm kind of reading the tea leaves, I think one guy's going to retire and the other guy's going to fill the shoes, right? This happened a few years ago when Tony Stewart retired, and they named Clint Boyer his replacement driver like a year and a half in advance. So anyway, 2311 Racing.
Can I ask you something real quick?
What's up?
Sorry.
What's up? What's going
How
on?
long has Clint Boyer been driving?
He's not. He's a broadcaster.
But like, how long had he been driving when he took over for Tony
I
Stewart?
think it's like,
'Cause I feel like
probably
Clint Boyer's
14
been
or
driving
15
since
years,
like
yeah.
1962. Sorry, carry on.
It was like 14 or 15 years. Then they had like 3 years with Stewart Haas Racing.
All right, so what is the realignment news for today?
Okay, so 2311 Racing, which is the new team with Denny Hamlin as the owner driver, although he doesn't drive for them. It's weird.
Is 2311 a combination of his number and somebody else's number?
And Michael Jordan's number.
Michael
Yes,
Jordan. There we
precisely. So they are the two owners. They had Bubba Wallace on as their first driver, brought Kurt Busch in as their second driver. And now it has been announced that Tyler Reddick, who currently drives for RCR, Richard Childress Racing, obviously a famous team in NASCAR, obviously one of the most winning and
Sure.
has 6 championships, with Dale Earnhardt. He's driving the 8 and just got his first win a couple weeks ago. Apparently, Denny Hamlin said, I raced against him. I respect the hell out of him. I wanted to go and get him. So they've signed on Tyler Reddick. 2311 Racing has signed on Tyler Reddick for 2024. 2024, he will start racing for them. And it's yet to be announced, but I feel like probably that is when Kurt Busch will retire and Tyler Reddick will take over. I would be surprised if it moves to a 3-race team.
3-car team. Basically.
3-car team. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. 3-driver team. There's a million different ways I could have said that better. But I would be surprised if that happens. But, at the end of the day, if you can get sponsorship and if Kurt Busch still wants to race, he's still competitive. So why not? But
I mean, obviously the biggest realignment news, or I guess expansion news in the history of NASCAR is when Dennett Motorsports added Cal Naughton Jr.
Yeah, and
to the team.
Who could foresee that? Like we saw, maybe it would be a little bumpy between the two.
Yeah.
But then like they really thrived for a minute.
Shake and bake.
And then it all fell apart.
Well, then they got back together at the end. But quickly here, like 30 seconds. What is the biggest realignment in the history of NASCAR?
Oh God.
Like what was the most earth-shattering one driver going from this team to the next in the history of NASCAR? Like what is the Texas and Oklahoma of NASCAR history?
There's a lot of them, man. I know this is probably not a great answer, and a lot of driver historians will probably disagree with me. But how Dale Earnhardt Jr. moved to Hendrick was huge. It was kind of groundbreaking, like because you had there's so many different reasons. You had Kyle Busch, he was taking over Kyle Busch's ride, and he was a young gun that was like, and then of course he's driving for his dad's team. Teresa Earnhardt, who was the owner at that point, and then it just started crumbling. Like once Dale Earnhardt Jr. announced that his engine started blowing mysteriously, like it was crazy. Like he completely got taken out of the race for the championship that year. He moved to Hendrick, doesn't win for a long time at Hendrick, and then DEI basically folds over the next 3 or 4 years. So it was catastrophic in
I
a
feel like
lot
we
of
can do a
different
whole
ways.
show on that.
Yeah, very much so. There
Fascinating
should be a
stuff.
30 for 30, honestly.
Yeah, again, you can catch PJ every Sunday morning on Green, White, and Checkered, or listen to the podcast version wherever you get your podcast. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back, get you ready for 3 and Out next. So I know college football and the world around has been dominated by the realignment news, and We had the news come out yesterday from Matt Hayes that the SEC is pretty content staying with 16 for a bunch of reasons, but they're not looking at expansion. I thought this was outstanding. It's from Kevin Clark from The Ringer, and he says, college football is not dying. Any suggestion that it is should not be taken seriously, and if somehow it was dying, Tennessee and Alabama fans would still meet in a grass parking lot every October to figure out how to place something. Which, the longstanding American tradition of, I don't know why I hate you, but I do.
Yeah. On full effect.
I thought that was a nice little piece there. I shouldn't say little. Nice piece there.
Yeah.
By Kevin Clark. Check it out on theringer.com. Kevin Thomas and Ben Troop coming up next. We have a full deep dive into what happened yesterday. I give it to you pretty simply. The Braves got Max Scherzer, but the guys will dive into it as well as some more college football talk. All that coming up next right here on ESPN Radio.